what would this person think if I speak poor English? Or what if I make a mistake and this person will think I'm stupid? Alright, what's up guys everyone? Today we're gonna talk about 5 big mistakes that every Korean makes. Before we get into it, just to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Korea and I moved to Australia 14 years ago. I was not able to speak good English at the beginning obviously, and then I ended up learning and going through the many different journeys, and then I managed to learn to speak English, and I'm here to share my journey with you so that you can learn as much as you could and then not make the same mistake I made. Alright, let's get into it. The first thing is trying to be perfect. Why are we doing this? I don't know why, but culturally, Koreans are conditioned to aim to speak perfect English. And I tell you that even though I can communicate and articulate my thoughts as much as I want, I make mistake, and even native speakers make mistake, and Koreans often make mistake while speaking Korean as well. While we try to speak perfectly, we shouldn't be aiming to speak perfectly at the beginning, because that is fundamentally number one big reason that it's stopping you from learning a language. Because imagine the situations where you meet a new person and you're trying to have a conversation, you don't speak good English, but you're trying to speak perfectly. What happens in your mind is you're going through all the thoughts behind what would this person think if I speak poor English, or what if I make a mistake and this person will think I'm stupid, or somewhat what if this person doesn't think of me as someone to be respected. A lot of people are seeking approval from others all the time. I see that's deeply rooted in Korean culture, but we have to remove this in order to embrace the imperfections so that we can comfortably speak, make mistake, and learn English. One of the good examples is that imagine you're trying to learn to ride a bike, but because riding a bike perfectly is very difficult, you try to learn how to ride a bike by studying a book. And you're trying to learn a theory to be able to ride a bike, right? But that's exactly what most of the people are doing. But you know this, it's not going to get you there. So as an introverted and reserved person, it was really difficult for me to overcome this. At the same time, learn to make conversations with other people, learn to have small talk, learn to develop a relationship. But after 14 years of trials and errors, I've overcame, and I wanted to tell you that you can do it too. You just need to start and keep on making mistake and just get used to it. You have to see that as an opportunity to speak. So I actually created a 7-day course to help people who's going through the same journey. So click the link below and check it out if that's going to be helpful for you. Okay, moving on to the next. Staying in comfort zone. When you're in the comfort zone, you don't get forced to learn. It's like same as you want to go up the ladder in the making money side of life, or building a business side of it. If you're not under situations that stress you all the time, then you're not conditioned to work harder for yourself. Think about the situations where you had an exam and you had less than a week left, and you would be switched on, you're like, I need to get this done, and then I'm going to focus on, and then I'm going to finish this as soon as possible. And then your brain goes on and on and on, and then try to finish it as fast as you can. Whereas if you think your exam is 1 month left, or 2 months left, or even half a year later, then you're likely to be like, I can do it later as well. And then maybe getting close to the date, I will increase. So that is very likely to happen when you're learning English as well. The reason behind you trying to learn English isn't strong enough. So you have to make that stronger. That will make you to push forward harder. That would be something like anything that allow you to be in the space that makes you feel like your English is terrible and you have to speak it or you have to understand it every day. The focus is that finding the environment that forces you to learn English all the time. Alright, number 3 is focusing on one thing that works the best. Like the one really efficient method that you're trying to find, and then stick to one method. But this isn't going to cut it. This is not the optimal way to learn language because it didn't get you to where you want to go. So the optimal way for learning a language shouldn't be just one method. You should be using diverse range of methods and then combine them to your favorite, to your liking, and then continue on as often and as long as you can. It would be something like reading a book and watching a YouTube and watching a reels and shorts in English, and also some Duolingo and Anki Pro to study flashcard and then doing some spaced repetition. And then after those input, you can practice your output by writing them down on a journal and trying to speak it out to your friends or language exchange app through the other friends, or even your partner who speaks English, or someone who's random from dating app that you could just say hello and then say, ask questions and try to tell them about yourself and then carry on with the conversation. All right, number 4 is limited mindset. I'm curious who here would confidently say, I believe in my ability to speak fluent English and I can learn to speak like a native speaker if I want to. Most will say it's very unrealistic and difficult and not achievable. The only reason it's hard for you is because around you, you have seen so many people who finds it difficult and challenging, and then you have been approaching language in a wrong method, which was to focus on the grammar and trying to speak it perfectly, rather than trying to build an experience of making conversation as much as you can. So my point here is that you don't want to tell yourself that it's really difficult. It's not something that you can't do, because the moment you tell it, you won't be able to do it. You're constantly reminding yourself it's difficult. How can you do something easily when you tell yourself it's difficult things? Think about the time that you had to do something that you find it challenging when you were younger or when you were in school. You had to condition your mind, it's easy, I can do this, I can do this. You visualize and then you give it a go, and then you do it again and again and again, and then it works. But if you tell yourself, I won't be able to do it because nobody can do it, and it's so hard, it's so tough, and then you keep yourself negative words, then, good luck to you. You won't be able to do it. So I really encourage you that believe in yourself. Just because you saw many negative cases around you, it doesn't mean you can't. I can do it too, and many of my students did, and many of the people around me did as well, living in Australia, and you can too. All right, last but not least is the no study plan. So if you don't have structured plan on how you will study English, when and how and what, then the likelihood of you drifting away from your decisions and your goal that you wanted to grow your English skills, it will fade away eventually, because you can't rely on motivations. The motivation always goes away. So you rely on your discipline and your system. I've built the system that I've been using it for the last 4 years with my students. You can have a look down below in the link and use the system I've built. It will be very useful for you. It will help you to learn what needs to be done in order to level up and how you can do it as well. Having the study plan and having the structured plan on what you will be doing at what time will completely change how you can stick to your plan as well. So the one best thing you could do is that write down what you want to do every day and then choose the time whenever you want to do, and choose the moment you want to do. If you want to do a Duolingo and Anki Pro, or even writing a journal, you have to decide in advance when are you going to do that. So that's something like a routine would look like. Okay, that's everything I wanted to cover. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.